دەست بە سێشنەکەمانەکەین. مامۆستانی بەڕێز لە ببورن لە سێشنەکانی ڕابردووە ئەگەر جەنابتان لە یاتان بێت کۆمەڵی تۆڵی زۆرمان ناساند هەرچەند کۆمەڵێکیشی مابوو ئینشاڵڵا دامناوە بۆ ئەخیر سێشنمان کە ڕۆژی شەممەیە ئەگەر بتوانین لەگەڵ باسێکی گشتی سکیوریتی و پەرسۆناڵ سکیوریتیە باسێکەکەین تێکەڵکێشیانەکەین. ئەمڕۆ ئەگەر بتوانین دووشت کەڤەرکەین هەرچەند ئامانجی یەکەممان بریتە لە کەڤەرکردنی کیکە بە تەفسیل و بە وردی و پاشان ئەگەر بکرێ دروستکردنی پەرسۆناڵ وێبسایت ئەگەر فریانەکەوین ئینشاڵڵا دروستکردنی پەرسۆناڵ وێبسایتی شەخەینە هەفتەی یا با بڵین سێشنی داهاتوومان ئینشاڵڵا. ئەوەی کە گرنگە لە خزمەتانە باسی بکەین ئەم سێشنە بەڕاستی ئینترۆدەکشنێکە یا بڵین ئۆڤەڤیوێکی پرۆسەی ڕیسێرچ و گرنگی ڕیسێرچ و توڵ بە شێوەیەکی زۆر کورد و پاشان ڕاستەخۆ ئەچینە سەر تۆڵی کیکە و محاولەکەین ئینشاءڵڵا هەنگاو بە هەنگاو ئەو تۆڵە لە خزمەتان باس بکەین کە چۆن ئیشەکە و فەنکشناڵەتەکانی کامانن و هاتا دوایی. This diagram is my concept for a teacher or a lecturer, okay, and I think it can apply to all of us as well. So you see a simple diagram of a human being that has a head, two hands, a body, and then two legs basically. So if you imagine this is you and me as a lecturer or as a teacher, so our composition is basically are the followings. So in our head we have knowledge and skills, and this is quite clear. Why we are called lecturers and teachers? Clearly because we have more knowledge than our students, and we have more skills than our students, and we would like to basically help them and take them with us through the process of learning. So that's why in one hand, if you have a look, in one of our hand is called obtain hand, which we try to obtain information, and then on the other hand we deliver that information to our students. Okay, so this individual who's called a lecturer is walking on 2 feet. So without these 2 feet we cannot move forward, we cannot progress. Okay, one of our leg is basically search. So this is for readily available information that you do online or any other places or books or wherever, to find available information and use that information to move forward. Okay, and then obviously we have on the other hand, or on the other leg, shall we say, we have research, which is something part of us as a lecturer. We have to carry out researches, find out new information and new domains and solve new problems and so on. So this concept is quite important to realize in your head. This is you and me, okay? Without having the skills and knowledge, without being able to obtain that information, to search for it and deliver it, and then think about new information, we will be like the rest of the people who you see out there, okay? Therefore, this little diagram kind of shows us the importance of search and in particular research, because research is one of our legs. If we don't do research, you will stay where you are, you will not be able to move forward. So it's quite essential that we know how to do research and take it from there, okay? So that was just a brief concept of who we are, okay? So the knowledge and skill which we obtain, search and do research, and we obtain it. If you think about this particular aspect of us being a lecturer, there are a number of areas that cover this knowledge and skill. Okay, the first one is scientific competence. So whatever topic and field you want to teach in, you need to be scientifically competent. That means you need to have all the important essential elements about that particular area of interest. So without having that scientific background and scientific competence in the area, you will not be able to be a good teacher. Okay, and then obviously that knowledge and skill also includes research know-how. You need to have the competency, the process of research in your head, so that you can apply it and reapply it and apply it again to carry out research. Then we need to be able to connect with people. That's why social knowledge and skills are also important, because if you are not socially capable, you will not be able to communicate with people effectively and get on with people effectively, and therefore you will have difficulty to deliver your information. And then the final part, which is part of us or mainly about us, is called self-confidence. So you need that self-confidence in order to be a lecturer. Don't be afraid of presentations, be able to speak in front of large group of people, and so on. So these are all important elements of whatever is in your head in terms of you becoming a teacher. Obviously, these areas are really deep and rich areas that you need a lot of time to study and think about and so on. So we will not be able to cover them all, but the point that I would like to focus on is research know-how. Okay, that means basically knowing how to do research. Not research itself, but knowing how to do it is more important than the research itself. Okay, it's basically like fishing, because the process of fishing is more important than the fish itself. Why? Because if you know how to fish, you could do it multiple times. But if you are interested in the fish, you can get it once and that's it. You will not be able to get it again unless you have to pay for it and so on. So our focus is on the research know-how. This research know-how is covered by a number of aspects. So one of those aspects, or one of those important aspects of research know-how, is research manager tool. Okay, a software tool, a technology tool that helps you to manage the process of your research from start to end. And this is quite important. If you don't use these facilities, you will make your life a lot difficult, and the process goes a lot slower without them. And then obviously, apart from the research manager tool, is publishing in a journal, being able to publish in a journal, or knowing how to publish in a journal, shall we say. Then you need to know about intellectual property rights and plagiarisms, and then research ethics as well. Okay, we will not be able to cover all these research know-hows as well. So what is related to our module is the first one, which is called the research manager tool. And research manager tool is what we will introduce today. So I just wanted you to be with me in this journey of focusing and zooming into the exact point that we want to cover for today's session. Okay. So I will not be able to talk about all these different slides. Let's just jump straight to, okay, so research manager tool. Okay, in the next few slides, I will cover the benefits of research manager tool. And then I will talk about some aspects of the tool that we will cover in a minute. Okay. So what is a research manager tool? Okay, RMA, what is it? If we introduce it very briefly, a research manager application is a software tool that will help you to carry out a number of tasks. The first task that these tools will help you to execute is about your files, your PDF files and other research materials. Okay, so these software tools enable you to download, save, and somehow organize these PDF files or these researches that you find as a background for whatever you want to do. Okay, and also we have the search capability. Some of these tools can help you to search in a particular database to find new related literatures and so on. Then another aspect is about organizing. These tools will help you to organize all your different research activities in different locations where you can zoom into, use, and basically help you find information on and files very quickly and very easily. Another important aspect of these tools are about bibliography and, shall we say, reference management. These reference managers are aspects of these tools are really important because it can help you to generate references automatically, download them, find them, organize them, style them, and so on. Okay. And then the software tool also help you to generate reports about what? Your annotation reports, whatever you have specified in different kind of researches to include in your research, paraphrase later, and so on. And then they help you to highlight important informations in these tools. And then again, it helps you to save a copy of whatever you have on cloud storages like Google Drives and OneNote and so on, in order to make sure that you save these information in a secure location that you don't lose them very easily, because they are important resources for your research and your research activities. Okay, so in general, a research manager tool is far more capable than just a reference manager tool. It should do more than just managing your reference. If you remember, when I introduced or when we explained the different functionalities of Microsoft Word, I showed you how to basically execute citations and how to save your resources and use them in your citations and produce your bibliography and so on. So that was just basics, basically. We need a tool which is a bit more capable and a bit more inclusive than that. And that tool is a research manager tool. So in this introduction, basically, we are not talking about Qiqqa, we are talking about research manager tools in general, because there are a few tools that do the same job pretty much, more or less, with some various degrees. Then what are the benefits of research manager tool? Obviously, it helps you to save time, because it speeds up the process, and as a result, you save time in the process of you doing your research. Another benefit of research manager tools are keeping your records, keeping all the informations and files and annotations and related researches and whatsoever about individual researches that you will carry out in the future. And obviously, the final benefit is the facilitation, bringing all different parts together and helping you to complete the process in an orderly manner without being concerned about missing parts and so on. So these are just a number of simple benefits of research manager tools. And it's important that we concentrate on one of these tools and use it effectively and get to know it intensely as well. There are loads of different research manager tools. There are RefWorks, EndNote, Mendeley, Zotero, and so on. So B-based software. These different tools are basically helping you to do pretty much the same in terms of reference managing, but they have different capabilities when it comes to managing your research. And when I started my PhD, that was back in 2014, basically, I suffered quite a lot when I was doing my master's for the referencing part of my master thesis. It took me quite a lot of time to organize all the references, and whenever I made a change, I had to redo the whole process again. So it was very annoying and very time-consuming process, basically. So when I started my PhD, I decided to do something about this aspect of my research, and I spent the first 3 months researching all different kind of research manager tools that I could get my hands on. So I just basically downloaded them, tried them, used them to complete parts of my research and so on. And my goal was to find the best one or choose the best one. And eventually, after trying many of these different tools and experimenting with their functionalities, I landed on Qiqqa, the tool that I will introduce to you today. And basically, when I landed on Qiqqa, after using it and trying the different functionalities of Qiqqa, believe me, it was like landing on a mountain of gold, because it was just the tool that I was looking for. It was doing everything that I wanted in one package, and made my whole research course was, made it really easy, really organized, and easy to go about. So after finding Qiqqa, I didn't have to worry about referencing annotations and so on, which I will show you in a minute. And it was just a lifesaver, okay? Believe it or not, I used nearly over 280 references for my PhD. And my PhD was like 300 pages long. I completed the whole references of my PhD. I think it was, if I'm not wrong, 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes, something like that. So it's that easy to reorganize your reference. And I know this is quite unbelievable, but when I show you in a minute you will see what I mean. Okay, so Qiqqa is the tool that I will introduce you in a minute, inshallah. And obviously, Qiqqa used to be a paid for software. That means it wasn't free. You had a basic version, but you have to pay for it. But now Qiqqa has gone open source. That means it's been developed by a wider community and it's free to download. And the link I sent you to was version 79. There are version 80, 81, and 82 nowadays as well, if you want to use and download them. But I thought I did try version 80 and 81, and I thought version 79 is the most stable one. That's why I send you the link to that version and download it, because it does everything we need anyway. So it's good enough to use, and I have been using it for quite some times anyway. All right, so what I will cover in the tool, I will cover how to create your libraries, how to annotate files, how to produce citations, how to produce citation reports and bibliographies, and more. Okay, inshallah. So, is there any question before we start using and trying on the tool?
Yes, Mr. Please come back some to just 1 minute.
You want to go and come back in a couple of minutes?
I have one picture. I take a picture. I have 5 sentences. I just take picture.
Or take picture of my presentation?
I take picture for your writing. My 5 sentences. Now, before now, just one minute.
This one?
But just 1 minute. Yes, this one. Thank you very much. Just give me half minute. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome almost again. Okay, so what I will do in the remaining time we have, I will start experimenting with Qiqqa, and I will show you step by step how to use the tool and how to utilize it in different sections. Obviously, when you download Qiqqa, for those of you who have downloaded the tool, you have an icon on your desktop probably, or if not, then you have it in your start bar. So just type Qiqqa in your search and it will come up. The application starter will come up. So when you click on it, the tool will start opening. Okay, this is the basic interface of Qiqqa. You have a number of functionalities here on top, and here are your libraries. Okay, so virtual education, ICT round 3. These are all basically different libraries which I have created for different researches I have been involved in the past few years and so on. Okay, so the first thing that Qiqqa does for you is it will help you to save a location where you can collect all relevant information about that particular research you carry out, and then obviously take it from there. So the first step you need to do in Qiqqa is to create a library for your research. Okay, and the way to do it is here, this blue folder on the left top corner, when you click it, here you have a number of options. Okay, you have an open library, sync libraries, refresh web libraries, create web library, manage web library, create join intranet library, or download a bundle library. Okay, these are all different options for you, and you can use these different options if you wanted to. But the one we need to do is either create web library or create join intranet library. So the web library will create a folder for you on your drive. It used to be like this, but it's not anymore. But anyway, if you want to create a library, all you have to do is click on this button here. Okay, once you click it, then all you have to do is give your research a title or your library a title. So for example, imagine I want to do a research about I don't know, about cars. Okay, so I will call it car research, or name it anything you want. Okay, based on your research, you could copy this and paste it again here if you wanted to, and then all you have to do is go to create and click on create, and now Qiqqa is basically has created a library for you. Okay, so if I go all the way down to my list, I should see cars. Here is my library. It's called Cars Research. Okay, and in this particular ribbon of the library, I could see a number of things. I could see that there are 0 documents in my library. Okay, and I could view it online later on. I could invite and share this library with others, or I could edit or delete it if I wanted to, the particular library. For example, if you want to change the name or you want to delete it, it's up to you. Okay, so if I click on this library, right now, I am in one library, which is called Cars Research. And here onwards, my research management starts. Okay, right now I am in one space and I could do everything I want related to my research in this particular space. So the next step you need to do is you need to have downloaded your PDF files that you think is related to your research. Okay, so all you have to do is go on Google, for example, or Google Scholar maybe is more appropriate. Okay, so I go to Scholar. This is Google Scholar. And just type cars, for example. Okay, here it will give you a number of different researches that you can download for your research. Okay, so for example, this one here, 2 fuel cell cars in every garage. So if I click on that, okay, just trying to open up the paper. Okay, so this is a published paper about cars and different functionalities and performance of cars. So right now, what I will do, I will download it. So what I am doing right now, I'm trying to find relevant or related literatures about cars. So let me go to my desktop and I will create a new folder. Okay, and I call it car research. This is basically to collect my papers before I upload it into Qiqqa. Okay, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is find papers and put it in your library. So that's number one. I will download 3 papers and then I will stop because we don't need that many. So another why ethics matters for autonomous cars. That's number 2. So if I show in the folder and download Crackdown, so what happened? It's been downloaded. Let me, while it's been downloaded, let me download another paper. So, okay. Some of them are paid for because if you don't see a PDF next to it, so here it's called PDF. That means the PDF is available. Therefore, I will click on that as well. And then I'm sure you will have questions about those papers which you need to pay, but you need it. So there's a tool. I will share the tool with you. You can use the tool to download the papers for free. Although it is illegal in some countries, but in many countries it is being used and there is no problem. So if I go to my location, I will cut this and put it in my library. This is the car library, folder. That's my paper number 2. And then when this paper opens up, I don't know why it's not opening. Okay, Mamos, I'm sorry about that. I think there was an interruption in my internet, so sorry about that. So basically what I am doing, I am carrying on downloading a number of papers. So I have downloaded 2 papers. I will make it 3 and stop here. So hopefully this paper will download in a minute as well, and then we can move forward. Okay, Mamosta Sharmin is complaining about my voice not being able to hear it very well. Is that true for all of you or just her?
Oh, we can hear very well.
Yes, to all maybe. To you.
For me, it's really clear. I can't hear very well.
Okay,
No
so
problem.
okay, so that
You can go outside and then enter again the link. Maybe it is going to be okay.
okay, it looks like it's okay. So right, so basically what I'm doing right now, I don't know, it took some time, but I'm just downloading a paper and putting it in my folder, which I created earlier about cars. Okay, so move and save it. Okay, so I think that is enough. Right now we have 3 research papers in one folder, which is called cars research. Okay, right, let's go back to Qiqqa. Okay, we have Qiqqa here. And obviously in Qiqqa, now we want to start our research process. And what I will do in a minute, I will upload the papers into Qiqqa and then take it from there. So the next step you need to do in your library, you go to this folder, blue folder again. If you click on that, you have a number of options. Option number 1 is called Add PDF Documents, Add Folder, Entire Folder, Watch Folder, and I will explain what Watch Folder is. It's a really beautiful functionality of Qiqqa, and then import from another reference manager and copy another library. So the one you need is either Add Folder or Add PDF. But let me go to Add PDF. I think this is simpler to understand. So right now, what I want to do, I want to import all the PDF files I have downloaded for my research into Qiqqa. So click on that. It will take you to your desktop or your computer. So if I click on that and go and find my folder, which is called cars, here is the folder. If I double click on that, these are the 3 PDF files I just downloaded for my research. You could have 20, you could have 50, you could have 100. It doesn't really matter. The process is the same. Quantity is no concern. So the way to upload it is just highlight all, okay, and click on open. All right. So right now, these are the 3 PDF files which has been imported into where? Into my library, which I have called Cars Research. Okay. And what you can see at the bottom here, it's actually processing the papers, and it will make loads of different attributes out of your papers, and it will help you to do a number of things later on, which I will show you. One of them is obviously being able to annotate your files and so on. Okay. So step number 1, we created the library. Step number 2, we imported the PDF files, which we think is relevant for our research, into our library. Okay. Step number 3, we need to upload the bibliography or the reference, shall we say, the bib text for each papers we have found. Okay. Each papers we have found, we need to upload the bibliography for it. And you do this once. Once you've done this, you could use these papers 100 million times. There is no limit whatsoever. Okay. And the way to do it is very easy. Okay. The way to do it is very easy. All you have to do is, if you click on the papers you want to find the bibliography for, and go to this functionality here, fire up the bibtext sniffer. Okay, if you click on that, this window will come up for you. Okay, and what this window does, it will show you a number of things. It will show you a preview of the first one that you need to upload the bibliography for it. Okay, and it also tells you how many papers you need to do in order to complete the whole process. So right now we have 1 out of 3. So this is paper 1 out of 3. Okay, and what Qiqqa does for you, it will basically capture the title of the paper, and the title is here, which is called, let me go for the title, Autonomous Driving, which is a book, and this book is quite long as well. So it could be a paper, it could be a book, anyway. So autonomous drivers, I would like to upload the bibtext for this one. And to upload it is very easy. So what Qiqqa does for you, it will take this title and find the title in Google Scholar for you straight away which is this one here, autonomous driving, technical, legal, and social aspects, which is the same here. And in order to import the BibTeX, it's easy. You just click on this little double arrow and just click import BibTeX. There you go. You see, this is the entire information, entire BibTeX for this particular book in one click. Okay, and you can style this BibTeX information in whatever styles you want. Okay, all you have to do is repeat the same process for the rest of them. So click next. It will take you to your next paper because this is downloaded from, so we have 2 fuel cell cars in every garage, which is this one here in 2005. Click on the double arrow, import BibTeX. And then the next one, this is the final one. You see, the second Toyota paradox, how to do, so occasionally you see the title is not coming up in Google Scholar, okay? All you have to do is highlight the title. This is obviously not, it's not a process title, sorry. Okay, so this one is not being processed because it comes up as an image, for example, for some whatever reason. So here you could write it yourself. The second Toyota paradox, how delaying decisions. If you write not all of it and click Windows, I'm sure it will come up. This is it. This is the PDF file, which is published in 1995. So import the BibTeX for it as well. So you have a number of options. It will either do it for you automatically. If it doesn't for you automatically, you just highlight the title. If the highlight is coming up as an image, because all papers like pre-2000 papers sometimes come up as an image, the title comes up as an image, you can just basically type part of the title and click or enter, and it will bring out the bibliography for it as well. Okay, right. So just one thing before I move forward. Right now we have all the papers. You see the title of the papers, you see their authors, you see the year it was published. This one is published in 2016, 2005, and 1995. Okay, so just one thing to show you, actually, if I click on that, sorry, we have taken bibliography of all of it. So in my library, for example, the first one, you see we have a window here next to it. This window tells us quite a lot. If we go to property, you see it tells you all the different information. It tells you this is the key, which Qiqqa will recognize it by. These are the authors. This is the title. It was published by Springer, and the year was 2016. If you go to the next one, it tells you the same as well. So all your information are here. It's an article. These are the authors. Title is this. Journal is Interface and Electronical Society, year 2005, volume 14, number 2, page blah, blah. So you get all the different informations you need about this particular topic. So if you click on sniffer, which is the same as bibliography, so if I click on that, you have selected only one, so yes. What I want to show you here is there is no PDF associated with this control. Why isn't that? Okay. So what I wanted to explain to you is this functionality here. When you have import into BibTeX, import into BibTeX. Some of you may not see this extension later on, And the reason is you need to activate this extension in Google Scholar. Okay, and the way to activate it is basically you go to these 3 lines inside your sniffer. So here is called sniffer. So you do it once, not for every paper, once for the rest of your life. Okay, whatever I show you here, you do it once for the rest of your life. And obviously you go here. Okay, and here you see, obviously you have signed on. You need to be signed on before you start this process, signed on with a Gmail account. But anyway, here, if you go to something called settings, let me just move this thing in front of my eyes. So you have setting here, click on that. And these settings, the first one, if you go all the way down, you see Bibliography Manager here. Okay, and this Bibliography Manager, this is by default, don't show any citation import link. All you have to do is change it to show links to import citations, BibText. Okay, once you clicked on this and chose this radio button, just save it. That's all you have to do. And then once you've done that, this double arrow will open. If you click on that double arrow, one of the links is import into BibText. And this is where you have to click in order to import your bibliography into your library. Okay, so far what we have done, repeated, we have created a library called CARS Research. We downloaded 3 related research papers on Google Scholar. We imported the papers into our library, and we imported the bibliography or BibText details of each of the papers. Okay, now you are ready to start doing your research. Okay, obviously when you download a number of PDFs, the next step is you need to read them, isn't it? You need to read these papers and highlight the parts which you think you can paraphrase or you can reuse in your research. Because you need that background support, you need that scientific background in order to go forward. And references play an important part in reference managing, in research and so on. So it's important that we not just read the papers, but we also highlight and extract the relevant parts which we think is important for our research. Okay, so right now what I will do, I will read the papers one by one. You don't have to read it somewhere else. You can read it within Qiqqa. So all you have to do is double click on the paper you want to read. So this is paper number 1. Open it for me, please. Okay, so obviously this was a book. You see, it's a long book. If you want to zoom in, you can click on these 2 little gray areas to enlarge the screen for you. You have that option. Or simply, if you click, you have it like this. If you click on this functionality here, which are 4 arrows in each corner, if you click on that, it will take you to the reading mode. And you can zoom in, or you can zoom out as you like. Okay, so right now I'm zooming in, so the reading is getting larger and larger. So basically what I am trying to say is, you do not
Excuse me, sir, for interruption.
It's okay, Mama Mustafa.
Just could you remove the ribbons?
Okay, so the ribbons have come up again.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mama Mustafa. So let me stop share and then unshare. Is it gone now, Mamusta?
Yes, Mamusta, thank you.
You're welcome. Right, so what we are doing right now, like I said, we double click on one of our papers, and here you don't actually need a PDF reader because Qiqqa includes a PDF reader for you. So all you have to do is read it within Qiqqa. So you have the functionalities to enlarge it, to zoom in and zoom out if you wanted to, and so on. So imagine this is one of the papers I'm trying to read, and all you have to do now is highlight the important parts which you think is relevant for your research. Okay, and the way to highlight the important sections for your research is this functionality here. It's called a box notation. Okay, you could use these the highlight section as well, but I think the box notation is much better and much nicer. So if you click on this yellow sticker here, this functionality here, it will help you to read and annotate your file. So all you have to do is read. So for example, this, I think this section is important. So I just drag across the reading and then go to next page, another page. For example, this one here, I think this part is important as well. So I just click on that as well, and so on. So all you have to do in Qiqqa, read and highlight, read and highlight, okay? Now, what is important really about these highlights are these. Once you do them, you don't need to save them because Qiqqa automatically saves for you, okay? And also, more importantly, in these annotations, you could do a number of things. You could write your own thoughts here. So for example, you think this part is relevant. So after you've read this part and you highlight it, you think in your head that this part is important for your introduction part. So you could write here, this part is important for my introduction. Okay, or whatever thoughts you have in your head. So maybe you read something, you like it, and you would like to paraphrase it straight away in your head and write it there. This annotation and will come with this note of yours. Okay, and obviously you can move the annotations as you want. If you want to change the color of the annotations, you could change it to red, to any other color you like. So these are basically to help you identify different sections of your research and see which one is important and which one. So you can color code if you wanted to. And obviously, if you want to remove the annotation, all you have to do is click on this I functionality and click on delete annotation. Okay. Comments always visible. You can use comments always visible if you wanted to. And this is your comment, which you have in your annotations. But if you don't do that, it will still keep it for you. Okay, suppress image for saving spaces and so on. So go to another page. For example, you are reading, and I'll just cross this as well. And that's it. Page number 1 or paper number 1 is done. I have read the first paper, which is called automotive reading, autonomous driving, technical, blah, blah, blah. I have read this one. And you repeat the same process for the other two. And here, just to show you something really nice in this particular location, now I've read this paper and I could go to annotation, and here you have a stage. I could click on this functionality and go to finish reading. You see, finish reading. That means if you have 20 papers in your library, you could just see here whether you have read the papers or not. And you have many options. You have interested only, that means it's not important. Top priority, which means really, really important. You have started reading but not completed. You have interrupted, you have unread, you have read again, you have finished reading. So you have skim reading. So you have all these different stages of reading to tell you in this particular paper where you are in terms of reading the papers. Okay, and what I will do, I will click the next one, double click. So I will just go to the highlight mode again. This is the obviously downloaded from ResearchGate. So this is the actual paper, 2 fuel cell cars in every garage. And imagine I am reading this paper again. So I will go to my annotation and just highlight the parts that I want. Okay. So I am just imagining that I am reading the paper and I am highlighting the important parts of the paper for my research. Okay, obviously this is random what I am doing, but we pretend that we are reading the papers, okay, and highlighting the different important parts. Okay, now paper number 2 is done. I will go to stages and I will say finish reading again here as well. So finish reading, the stages. And then I will do the same for the 3rd paper, reading. So I will just basically, this part, I will go to my annotation. This part is important. I will click on that. Reading. This part is important. I will select that as well. And I will go and this part as well. Obviously, you can highlight diagrams and tables and so on as well. It's not just text. So you can highlight the entire diagram if you wanted to. Or you could, so for example, this one here, I could just basically highlight the entire diagram. It will be extracted for me as well. Right, as far as I am aware, Mamostani Barez, no other tools have this functionality in the same location. There are other tools that you can download plugins for it that you can basically annotate files, but it's not just about annotation. Just wait and see what happens with this annotation. This is where Qiqqa is doing a really great job. So now I will go to finish reading again. Okay, so far what I have done, I have read all my papers. So I created a library. I downloaded some papers for my research. I imported the papers into Qiqqa. I uploaded the bibliography for each paper, and you do it once for the rest of your life, and as long as you have the same program and the same computer. And I read all my papers and annotated the important parts, because you know, not all parts of the paper you read is relevant to your research. You only highlight the important parts. And these parts, obviously, you need to take away and rewrite, paraphrase, which is called paraphrasing or rephrasing for your own research, obviously, but you need to cite it. Even though you paraphrase it, you still need to cite it and provide the correct referencing. Otherwise, you will fall into the trap of plagiarism. Okay, so the next thing I would like to do is basically extract whatever I have highlighted, and I need to know which paper are the extracts coming from, and I need to know, I need to have the text for whatever I have highlighted, so I could edit the text as well. And I need some of the information like the page numbers which I have highlighted and so on. So all these information, imagine if you didn't have this tool, you have to do it manually. So you have to rewrite if you have a PDF file, or you could convert it to Word and then copy and paste it and save it. And so it's a real headache. But with Qiqqa, no. All you have to do is open the PDF, read it, and annotate the important parts you want. Okay, so what is the next step? The next step is I would like to generate a report out of all my annotations, the important parts I have identified in order to use it for my research. Okay, and this is where Qiqqa comes with a great tool. So after you're done, so you go to this functionality here, this yellow sticker. It's called create a report. Okay, create a report with annotations. If you click on that, it's asking you, you have selected only one document for this operation. Would you prefer to use all the documents in the library? Obviously, I want all my documents in my library, and click yes. Okay. And here you have a number of options. You can filter by creation date. So imagine you are working on the same library. You have read 20 papers yesterday. You created an annotation report yesterday. Today you have read 5 papers, and you don't want to include the ones you have already generated a report for. Here you can specify the date in which you like to generate the report. So obviously it will be today and so on. But let's just forget about that for a moment. We will come back to it later on. Right now, I just like to generate a report out of my citations. Out of my annotations. All you have to do is click on this yellow sticker here. So if you click on that, look what happens. Okay, right now, what happens? Qiqqa has generated this beautiful report for me. What is this beautiful report? It tells me a number of things. It tells me you have read this paper. This is the title. In page 20, you have annotated this part. And also, this is the text version of the image here. It will provide you with the exact image from the source, and also the text version of that, so you can edit. Okay, and if you go all the way down, it tells you the page numbers. It tells you lots of things. This is our page number 2, or sorry, research number 2. These are the different parts we highlighted, and underneath we can see the text extracted from those images. And also you can see we have images as well. So all the images and diagrams we have highlighted, it has come across. So now this report only includes the important parts which we thought was relevant to our research in the papers we've read. You see, now you zoom into the exact space you want. You don't worry about whatever you have read later on. Okay, right. The next thing, obviously, you need to paraphrase this, and Qiqqa helps you to do that as well. So all you have to do is, can you see this button here? This is a green arrow goes into W Word. That means, Qiqqa, please put all this information into a Microsoft Word document for me so I could start editing different sections. Okay, so if I click on that, see what happens. Okay, there you go. Qiqqa will automatically open Word for me. It will open a new file and put everything in my annotations into Word. You see, these are all the different parts I have highlighted. This is the image, and this is the text I could edit, basically. So I could edit these text as well. And you can go all the way to see whatever you have read for your today's research. the diagrams, everything is here. Okay, so basically, this is what is really beautiful about Qiqqa. And so far, we have managed to generate our annotation report. And here on, we can start paraphrasing. And I think it's time for a short break. And once we come back from our break, I will show you how to reference each part and then how to develop from here to your next stage of research and your basically generating your bibliography and your citations and so on. And then I will show you a number of other features of Qiqqa, which helps you to manage your research. But so far, we have only covered the basics, and we have come up to the point where we have generated annotation report out of what we have read. And now we don't need to worry about all the rest of the papers. All we have to do is paraphrase these and put it in our research. Okay. All right. Is there any questions so far?
No, thank you.
Okay. And what do you think so far? Do you see something you like, or do you think?
I have a question.
Yes, Mamusta.
Is it possible to import these PDF from like other websites like PubMed, or does it has to be from Google Scholar only?
It doesn't have to be from Google Scholar. You can specify the source of your bibliography if you want. So I will show you when we come back from the break where you need to specify that.
Because there are some PDFs that you cannot like import the bibliography and stuff, or maybe it's like different way of that.
Why can't you import the bibliography from?
I mean, I don't know, maybe for this program, is it like possible? I don't know.
Well, so far I have used Google Scholar and I haven't had any problem at all in importing my bibliography for whatever PDFs I have downloaded. But I'm sure there are other sources you could use instead of Google Scholar for your PDF bibliography as well, which inshallah I will show you what I mean when we come back from the short break, inshallah.
Okay.
Okay, Mamusta Anwar, do you have a question?
Sorry, Mamusta. Can we change or convert all document or entire document PDF to Word by through this tool?
What do you mean by
not
compare?
Not only part. Like document 200 pages. Can we convert it to Word?
Sorry, Dr. Robert, he means he wants to change the whole of the entire of the PDF to the Word by this tool, but I think it isn't. He can do online.
I don't understand actually. So what is the question about?
He wants to know, can he convert from PDF to Word with this application?
No, this tool helps you to convert Word into PDF. There's a functionality that if you have Word documents converted into PDF, because it works on PDF files as well. But obviously, if you want to convert from PDF to Word, there are other tools you need to download and do that for you.
Yes.
Because it only converts the parts you highlight into words, not the entire document.
Thank you, Mamusta.
You're welcome. Okay, any other questions?
No.
Mamusta.
Yes, Mamusta, yeah. Mamusta?
Mamusta.
Yes.
نازانم دەنگم دێت یان نا
بەڵێ دەنگت
مامۆستایەک پرسیارم هەبوو هەندێک پیپەر کە بڵین دەمانەوێت ریسێرچ لەسەر بکەین کە هەندێکیان پاسوەردیان دانایە جا ئەو کیکە ئیشتە لە بۆ PDF-انش
مەبەستی چییە لە پاسوەرد؟
مثلەن هەندێک ئەوسەر هەیە لە بۆ PDF-ئەکانی خۆیان ناتوانی بڵین تێکستەکەیان بکەیت و بەکاری بین.
بەڵێ وەڵاهی جا من تاکو ئێستا شتیوە بەرەو ڕووم نەبووتەوە بەڵام
چونکە من لە بەحسەکەم ببوورە مامۆستا قەتعەت دەکەم بەس لە بەحسەکەم ئەوە زۆر پێپەر هەبوو داونلۆدم دەکرد زۆربەی زۆری ئەوتەرەکانی ئەو بەحسێکە خۆم لە سەریم دەکرد هەمووی پاسوەردی دانا هەبوو ینی سەکیوری کردبوو نەدەتانی تێکستەکانی هایلایت بکەی یانی شکۆپیان بکەیت و داینێتەوە بە خۆ پارەفرێسی بکەیت جاوکی کێ دەتوانی ئەوە بکە تێکستەکان وەربگری ئەوە کە ئێستا وەرد کرد و یەکسەر کۆنڤێرتت کرد لە بۆ وەردەکە لە بۆ PDF وە ئیشتەکە بەڵێ
مامۆستاگیان ئەگەر ئەو فایلە PDF بێ و بتانی ڕید و ئەنۆتەیتیکەی لە 100% کیکە بۆت کۆنڤێرتەکە بە وەرد ئەو سێکشنانەی کە داونلۆد هایلایتیەکەی با بڵین یا ئەنۆتەیتیەکەی
باشە مامۆستا دەست خۆش
لە خزمەتتا مامۆستاگیان پرسیاری کەمان هەیە مامۆستانی بەڕێز زۆر باشە مامۆستایان سعات 18 دقەیە ئینشاءالله سعات بۆ پێنج ئەگەڕێینەوە 20 دقە ڕێست وەرەگرین 22 دقە
دەست خۆش مامۆستا جان بۆ هەموو شتێک
لە خزمەتانە ئەندێ فەرموون
تەمان درێژ بی مامۆستا جان
دیدار ئینشاءالله
دەستت خۆش بکە دکتۆر سلامت بی
هەموو لایەک بەخێر بێنەوە
Okay, Mamo-san, we will pick up from where we left. So basically what we did, if we remind ourselves, first of all, we created a library. Second, we downloaded a number of related papers. Third, we uploaded the papers into our library. Fourth, we imported the bibliography for each research. And then after that, we read each one. We annotated each one. And then we generated annotation report. And then through this functionality here, we put it into Word. So just by clicking on that, the whole document or the whole generated report is put into Microsoft Word for us. So this is the report which was created by Qiqqa out of the annotations we created, we made in our papers. So the next step is obviously you need to paraphrase the different sections of your report, okay? Just to ensure that you don't lose whatever you do, it's always better to save it. So if you go to Save As and go to the same document or the same folder you have created. So if I go to this PC and then maybe desktop, and then we go to Cars Research, and I will just call this Qiqqa report. Qiqqa report. So I know that I don't lose anything when I paraphrase. Okay. And here now you can paraphrase. Obviously, you don't need the image unless it's a diagram, so you could just delete the image. Okay. And also there's a option in Qiqqa, which I will show you, that will basically eliminate the generation of images. It will just give you the text here. But for now, it's easy to do it this way. And obviously, because this is centered, you can see this is centered, so it's better to select all and start from left. So basically, you have the text as it should be. And then you could paraphrase whatever you do. So you read section by section, and then you paraphrase it the way you understood it. So imagine this is our, let me just put some words. This, sorry. This is the first paraphrased section. Okay, and imagine this is my paraphrase for this section. And what I normally do, just to ensure that I don't mix my paraphrase part with the original part, I normally put it in different colors. So I'll just click on that and go and put it in dark blue, something like that, just to ensure that I know my paraphrased part. So you can go step by step and paraphrase. So I'm imagining that I'm paraphrasing basically. That's all I do. And then obviously I don't need the page number here, so I will just highlight that and put it here. And go to, let me just go straight to reference number 2 and do a couple of paraphrase here as well. So this is the image and this is the section. So I use the same technique. I start doing some paraphrasing here. Okay, and put this in a different color. One more paraphrase and I will stop here because the process is the same. So let me just basically go to a different page, maybe here. Okay, this is my paraphrase and I will highlight that. So these are my paraphrases, and I have done paraphrasing for the different sections that I want. Okay. So after the paraphrasing step, what you need to do, you need to basically reference the different sections here. So it's easier to put it in your research once you're done. So basically what you can do, you could just basically highlight the title. So here my paraphrase, and I should put a reference here, and my reference should be this one here. So what I do, I just copy this part, copy, go to Qiqqa. This is Qiqqa. I don't want this report anymore. And here you have a search area. Okay, this search area is really important. We could do a number of searching on different levels. Okay, so all you have to do is paste the title there and click enter. Once you click enter, Qiqqa will search through all your papers and find the one which is you want for your citation. And obviously, because we have 3 research papers here, it's quite easy to identify the one we want. But imagine we have 200 papers. And if you want to do this manually, you have to go through each one to find the title you want to cite. But this search technique is really easy and beautiful to quickly find the paper you want to cite. And now, after you found the paper, which is here, and it will highlight it for you in red, you could go back to the exact location or inside your Word to insert your citation. So here I want to insert my citation. Sometimes you want to insert the citation at the beginning. Sometimes you want to do it at the end or in the middle, anywhere you want really. So imagine I want it at the end. So I go back to Qiqqa right now. On the one which is highlighted for me and found for me, I right click. If you right click, you have a number of options. You have open, you have explore, view annotations, you have sites or site, okay, and you have edit, you have OCR in English and so on, but the one you want is called site, and I normally choose the first one, which has no problem. So if I click on site here, okay, and go back to my paper, you see a bracket has been created. If I click on it, it will be highlighted. That is my citation. As long as you have that, you don't need to worry about anything else. So that's my citation. And once you're done for one of them, it's quite easy to do the rest for the rest of your paraphrasing. So all you have to do is highlight within the bracket, copy it, and paste it next to each of the paraphrase section for that particular paper. So I'll put it here as well and see if we have somewhere else. No, okay. We have two different locations for our citations, and that is done. And then we go to the next paper. Here is our next paper, 2 fuel cells. So I will copy that again, go back to Qiqqa, click on this cross to delete everything in the search area. Click on the search area, enter the data and click enter. Okay, and it will find it 2 fuel cells. It will find it for you automatically. I will go back to my paper, to my Word document. I want to basically cite here. So I will just click on there and then go cite and cite. There you go. That's my citation. And I will do the same. I will copy this and paste it here. Okay, and I will see. Okay, that's it. So right now I have completed all my citations. And what is really important and beautiful about Qiqqa, you only do this once for your paraphrase part. So that means if I use this paraphrasing 100 million times in loads of different papers, I don't need to go the same process again, because I have cited it here. This is the code for the paper. Qiqqa will recognize this code automatically, and it will find the reference for you, the bibliography for you whenever you want to. Okay? So we paraphrased our sections, and we cite or put the citation next to the paraphrase section to say this idea has come from this paper. Okay, and I will save it just in case I don't lose whatever I have done. Okay, so the next step of your research is basically to put whatever you have paraphrased into the different sections of your paper. Okay, so what you will do, imagine you want to write your research paper in Microsoft Word. So the first thing you need to do is to lay out the structure of your report, which is, again, so you have the title. So this is the title, research about cars, something like that. So you have introduction, you have research methodology, you have results and conclusion. So imagine these are the different sections of my paper. Okay. And what I will do, I will save this in the same folder again, which is called cars research. And I will call it my paper, my car paper, something like that, just to remember. Save it. Okay, so now you have the structure. So this is section 1. This is section 2, something like that. But obviously, we have explained how to put these sections. And so you use header 1, header 2, and so on. But that's a different matter. Let's just forget about that because you know how to do it. We have gone through that before. So now I need to basically put the different sections I have paraphrased with the references into the relevant section. So I will put this, I will start with my first paper, just go through the different sections. So this is my paraphrase, and I think this part is relevant for my research methodology. So I just stick it under my research methodology. And I think this part is relevant to my results. I will put it in my results. So all I am doing is basically distributing whatever I have paraphrased into the different sections of my paper, obviously with the code that you have put in through Qiqqa. So I will do that as well. I will put this into the introduction, maybe, and I will have okay, this part, and I will put it somewhere in, although you don't need reference in the conclusion, but imagine we put it here, or discussion, somewhere like that, and save it. Okay, so you need your references as well later on. So, okay. All right. So now I have all my paraphrased sections. I have the bibliography, the citations for it. Now, obviously, you have to put in your own input into the different sections and the explanations and your input as well to fill in the gaps. But that's not our aim. So imagine we want to generate the bibliography right now for this research paper. And now it comes the magic of Qiqqa. So all you have to do under the reference section, okay, click beneath it, go back to Qiqqa. Okay, we go back to Qiqqa. This is Qiqqa. Okay, close your library, or you can keep it open if you want to, but you need to go to the Home tab. Home tab, this is the Home tab. And you need to click on this functionality here, which is called Insight, Qiqqa Insight. So if you click on that, okay, here you have a number of functionalities. Even though these are papers from different things, but you don't have to worry about that because these are different libraries which has been opened for different reasons, cite papers from your library. But anyway, the first thing you need to do is you need to click on this button here, Add Bibliography. So you see what happens. So if I click on this and then go back to my Word paper, okay, maybe I have clicked on the wrong part. So this is my paper, and this is exactly where I want my bibliography. So let me just close this Qiqqa report for the sake of clarity. So here under my reference, I click on this function here, click. Can you see under the reference, something has been put in there, which is called Qiqqa bibliography, Qiqqa bibliography. So this is the code which Qiqqa recognizes to generate the bibliographies you want. Okay, the next step is you need to style your references, whatever styles you like. And Qiqqa provide you with loads of different styles. If you click on this little feather, click on that and go pick a style If you click on that, you have over, I don't know, 500 different styles. You have all the different ones. But the one I really like is IEEE because it gives you as a number reference. But you don't have to stick to that. You can have different ones if you want to. So you have lots of different styles: APA, ASA, art history. You have archive. You have I think Chicago. I don't know. There are lots of different ones. All you have to do is click on the style you want and open it, and it will Qiqqa will style your references using that reference. But you see, I have chosen IEEE, which is somewhere here. IEEE, if I find it. Okay. Here it is. This is the style I have selected for my bibliography. So I have just basically click on that and opened it. And this is what happens. And the next thing, you click on this blue, green, I call it a magic stick actually. It's called a formatting tool, but I call it a magic stick because the minute you click on that button, magic will happen. So let me just take you back to the paper. Here, I have my citations. I have my bibliography here, and see what happens by clicking on that little magic stick. So just click on it. Okay, go back to your paper, and you see what happens? My references have been numbered for me. So that's number 1, and that's number 2. And obviously that's number 2 because we put the same reference here, and that's number 1. And also here is the full bibliography ordered for me. So this is the first one, and that's the second one. Very easy and beautiful. Now I could, if I want to use the same thing in another paper, all I have to do is copy that with a reference and click on the magic stick, and it will produce the same thing for me over and over and over again. Very easy. So basically, you can just do whatever you want in a few easy steps. And imagine if you want, for example, right now we have the first one as one, and the second one is 2. Imagine you go through your research paper and you like to shuffle a couple of things. Okay, now for example, I want number 2. I will cut it. Imagine I will cut this part and I will put it in my introduction. Okay, click it here, and I will have this one, the second part, I will put it in my methodology. Okay, now what I have done, I have reversed my content. So when I do the restyling again, or the reformatting, this should be my reference number 1, not number 2, and this should be changed to number 2. Why? Because I have changed the order. So when you do research, you do this shuffling quite a lot. So you cut chunks of writings and you put it somewhere else. And imagine you have 40, 50 different citations. You can basically just cut and paste, shuffle it however you want to. It doesn't really matter. Qiqqa doesn't care at all. What you will need to do right at the end, whenever you reach that point that basically you think you have done all the shuffling, all you have to do is go back to Qiqqa and click on the magic stick again. So if I click on the magic stick again, see, one click, I will go back to my research paper and see what happened. Now that has been changed to 1, and that has been changed to 2, and also the references has been shuffled as well for me. So if you have 200 ones, you could reshuffle the whole document in literally 30 seconds. You don't have to worry about thinking about all these different details or how you style it, how to write it. It's all click, 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 done for you. Easy peasy. Really beautiful. And I think this tool will make your research life really simple, really beautiful and easy. And I'm sure you will enjoy it. Okay, are there any questions so far? Because there are some more functionalities of Qiqqa that I would like to show. But so far we have covered all the basics. This is all you need to do for managing your research. You need a space to collect all your PDF files. You need to have the facility to read it, to annotate it, to generate the annotated reports, to paraphrase it, to cite it, and generate bibliography. These are the basics of research management, and these are all done for you. And obviously, there are more functionalities of Qiqqa. If you have a question, I will answer. If not, I will show you some more functionalities of Qiqqa. Okay, I hope you understood so far, and I'm sure you will enjoy it, like I said. And at the end of this session, there will be an assignment. And the assignment is basically to repeat exactly what I have done so far. So you create a library, you put some PDF files in there, you import bibliography, you read them, you annotate them, you generate the annotation report, you paraphrase, you cite, and then you put the paraphrase sections into different parts of your research, and you generate a bibliography. That will be your individual assignments at the end of the session. Okay? But obviously, I will give you the instruction later on for the assignment. Right. Is there any questions, Mamosta Anibares, so far? Mamosta Sanaria, yes.
مامۆستا ئەوە من داوەختی ماستەرەکەم ئەندنۆتم بەکارهێناوە بزانم زۆر نزیکن لە یەک وەکو یەک نین.
EndNote Mamosta Anibares reference manager نەک research manager. لە EndNote report generation و annotation و ئەم شتانە ناتوانانی بکەیت.
بەڵە ڕاستە.
تەنها ئەتوانی ڕێفرەنسەکانی بۆ مانیچ کات و سایتی ڕێفرەنسەکانی بۆ بکات.
بەڵە.
ئەوە جیاوازی.
ئۆکەی زۆر سوپاس.
غەڵەت نەبوو مەمسان PDF-ەکان ئەتوانی لە ناوی دابەزێنی و بخێنیەوە. بەس نازانم ئەدیتی یان چکە بەکارم نێنایە ئەو ببینێ.
بەڵێ ئەتوانیت بەڵام بە پلەگنێکی جیاواز وەکو ئەمە نییە ئۆڵ پاکیجێک بێ لە ناو یەکە هەندێکشت دەتوانی بکەی بەڵام بەم شێوازە سمپڵی کە لێرە ئەنتیگریت کراوە و ئاسان لە بەردەستایە من تاکو ئێستا هیچ توڵێکم نەبینیوە ئەوە بە ڕێکوپێکی هەموو فانکشناڵەتەکان لە یەک شوێنە هەبێت کە تۆ بتوانی هەموو ریسەرچەکەی خۆتی پێمانیش بکەیت. هەندێک لەم شتانە ئەکرێت لە توڵەکانی تریشە بەڵام هەمویان بە یەکەوە ئاوا بە ڕێکوپێکی نییە. بەڵێ مامۆستا زیرەک.
دکتۆر ژان ئەو کاتت باش.
سەرچاوم دکتۆری بەرز.
والله پرسیارێکم هەیە maybe I have missed but I'm not sure. I just wanted to ensure.
Okay.
So we right now have the application of Qiqqa and the online account. So
yes.
What is the exact difference? I mean, we know what is the application used for, but the online account, how can we use it? Or I mean, what is it used for exactly?
Mamosta, again, the online account is no longer needed because the tool is now open source. You needed an online account because previously, before Qiqqa went open source, you need to have an online account because Qiqqa would give you cloud space somewhere on their server to put all your document there, and you can sync it between your computer and the cloud they provide. But obviously, after they went open source, now they have shut down their cloud. They don't provide spaces no longer. So therefore, you don't actually need an account anymore. So if you download the newer version of Qiqqa, you don't actually need an account at all. And the only reason for account was to manage your cloud folders. But since you don't have cloud folders anymore, you have it on your local disk or somewhere on other drivers, then you don't actually need an account.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, Mustafa. Okay, any more questions?
Doctor, I have one question.
Sure.
Is there any useful tool which is going to help us for doing plagiarism or paraphrasing or proofreading, paid it or unpaid?
Well, yes, for plagiarism, you have Turnitin.
But is it working here?
Yes, it does. As long as you
Okay.
have an account and you pay for it, it does. And also, I use this tool. Let me just show you. It's a website which you can actually check chunks of your document. So let me just go there. It's called Plagiarism Checker. This website, Dupli Checker. Okay. I will copy that and put it in the chat. Okay, that website is a free and good website to check plagiarism. So all you have to do is copy and paste the text you want to check here, or you could upload a PDF, a text file, or whatever you want. Click choose file and upload it here. And once you've done that, you just click on
Plagiarism too.
check plagiarism checker. Oh, sorry, there must be a somewhere where
Here.
Yeah, check plagiarism.
Okay.
Okay. You click on that and it will check it for you. It will give you all the links for similarities and so on.
Okay,
So
thank you.
there is a tool, a good tool for paraphrasing, which is called, if I remember, I never use tools for paraphrasing. I think it's better to get used to do the paraphrasing for yourself, because obviously the tools that help you to do paraphrasing will do it robotically for you.
Yes.
So it misses the human sense and human feeling in the text. Obviously, you need to read it again and redo it again. So it's basically like doing the same job twice, but it can help people whose English is not great. I think
Exactly.
there is this tool called something Pod, if I'm not wrong. Something. So if you go to just say paraphrasing tool, I'm sure it will. Yeah, Quillbot. Yes, this is a paraphrasing tool. And in fact, apparently, I have read somewhere this tool is much better than all the other tools. Okay, so you can download the tool, Quillbot.
Okay.
So you put it here, whatever you want, and it will paraphrase it for you. It's very easy to use. So when you put there, just click on paraphrase and it will do it for you.
Okay. Thank you. What about the last question? What about the search engine for finding trusted paper? Search engine tool, I mean.
Trusted paper? What do you mean by trusted paper?
For example, academic paper that you are going to find from there.
Well, Google Scholar is one. So when you
but maybe some kind, maybe you can't get what you want exactly from the Google Scholar.
Well, that means basically you need to go to other resources like Elsevier or Springer or Hendawi. These kind of publishers have their own database. For example, IEEE has IEEE Explorer that you can search for papers published by IEEE, which is trusted. Elsevier is trusted. Clarivate is another one which is very trusted, and so on. So if you are not happy with Google Scholar, you need to go to these different databases.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Mustafa. I think he means the one that is not free to download. Okay, okay. This website, Mamostani Barez, is called scihub.ce. I use it quite a lot, and whatever that you have to pay for it, you don't need to worry about paying. All you have to do is click on the link or the DOI here, and it will open it for you. And let me show you what I mean by that. So if I go to Google Scholar, okay, and type in anything, for example, something like that. So let me just, this paper is called Understanding Virtual Reality. It's from Elsevier. So if I click on that, this paper is not actually free. You have to pay for it in order to, so if I click on download PDF, okay, please select the article download, and so it's not easy to download. I think, okay, maybe this is an older version and there's a PDF file for it. Okay, this is a PDF. Right, let me go to another one.
Go to IEEE, I think it is much better. You can.
Yeah, let me go to a new one. Okay, IEEE 99, maybe that is available as well. So, okay. Maybe let me change it to 2017. Okay, so this one here, for example, facilitating empathy through, okay, this is obviously you have to pay for it. You have to pay nearly 35 euros for it. But if you go all the way down, okay, let me go to, all you need to do is find the link. The link is here. You could do the link here, copy the link and put it in this section here. And if you click open, there you are. That's the paper you can download and you don't have to pay for it at all. And obviously, this works for pretty much all the papers I have been through anyway. You could do it through the link or you could do it through the DOI if you wanted to. I don't know where the DOI is for this particular one. Let me see if I could see the DOI, maybe right at the bottom. Yep, this is the DOI. So you can click on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, copy that, go back to the website. So if I go back to the main page of the website, I'll just paste it there and open it. There you are, that's the paper. You can download and use without paying for it. I'm not paying $34 because it's like getting around things. Although this is not legal and this is not ethical, but unfortunately in a situation like we are in Kurdistan where we don't have electronic payments and there are no facilities, you have to find ways, otherwise you will be left with no resources for your research. But this tool has been around for a few years. People are using it widely and it's a great website to download all the different papers that's asking you to pay for it for free.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's see who's raised their hand. Mamusta Zirak, you have a question?
No, no, I'm sorry.
Okay, Mamusta Hamin. Hamin, sorry.
عفوا ماموسا بس سؤال ما قلتم أجر معلومات تهبي كيكا دتوانيت استعمالي كيلو مثلا بحثك بعربي بكين ياخد بس دبي بإنجليزي بيتن تمشي زوربي أو أبانا ياخد أو ويب سايت أنا إجنا كنا نصير بحث عربي
ماما بلا راسا كيكا خوي الراسية همو سايتيشن و همو بيبلوغرافي أو شتاني كردمان همو يدبوها كتنها يكي شيء هي أوش أوية كإمبورت يكي بونا وورد بلين كجنريتي بيبلوغرافي عفو annotation report كتكي لويا فونتا كان تيكا چه بسريكا تنها أو كيشيه هي أجينا همو فانكشناليتيكاني تري إيشاكات ئەگەر میکانیزمی بدۆزرێتەوە ئەو فۆنتانە چاک بکرێت ئەمە کێشەی جەناب نییە لە ڕاستیە کۆمەڵی مامۆسای تریش پێش جەناب هەمان کێشەیان هەبووە و من لای خۆمەوە وتومە کە محاولەیەکەکەم کە هەرچۆنێ بێت میکانیزمێک یا حەلێک بدۆزینەوە بۆ ئەمە بەڵام بەداخەوە تاکوێسە ئەو دەرفەتەم نەبووە کە دانیشم سێرچێکی باشی بۆ بکەم بەڵام وەکوتر هەموو ئەو شتانەی کە کردمان ئەیکات تەنها ئەو کێشەیە هەیە کە فۆنتەکان تێکەچێ بەسەریەکە
دەست خۆش
لە خزمەتە. Okay, any other questions? Mamusa Abu Bakr.
Mr. Hi.
Hello, Mamusa.
Excuse me, please. How many percentage you can equate to all issuer?
Quotation or direct copy, you mean, Mamusa?
Yeah.
Direct
quotation. Copy? No, quotation. And copy, yes, yeah, you take another reference.
Well, if you copy something and put it in a quotation and you have your reference next to it, that will not fall into plagiarism because that's a quotation. And you are saying when you put something into a quotation, that means it's not your own word, it's somebody else's word, and you don't fall into plagiarism with that. But if you copy and paste, that will be...
Okay, what about copy and paste? What about the copy and paste?
Copy and paste, that's plagiarism. You are not allowed to do that at all. Although some publishers accept up to 20%, some accept up to 15%. It depends on the publisher. But in majority of cases, you are not allowed to copy paste directly unless you paraphrase and you put the citation into your paper. But again, like I said, some publishers may accept up to 10-20%, especially universities are a bit more flexible when it comes to direct copying. And some universities accept up to, in Kurdistan, I think generally up to 25% is acceptable.
Okay, thank you, understand. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Mustafa. Okay, any more questions? Right, okay. So we have about half an hour to show you some more functionalities of Qiqqa. So we covered the basics of Qiqqa, but right now I will go back to my library. I will go to my cars library. This is my library. In this particular library, I have a number of functionalities which I could actually use. Actually, let me go to a different library because for these functionalities, we may need a larger number of references. So I have 104 papers or 104 researches in this particular library of mine. And you can see I have kind of rated top priority, some of them read again, some. So basically I have gone through all of them And the first thing that you come across is actually this folder. I don't think it's time to do it because I think these functionalities will be too complicated. But right now, let's forget about that. Let's go to the next one. This one here, it's called find all the duplicate documents. So when you have loads of documents, you may have forgotten that you have a number of copies of the same document. So if you click on that, it will search through. Right now, for example, in this particular one, I have a number of documents which are duplicated. Okay, these documents are duplicated, and you can basically click on it and go to edit and delete it if you wanted to. So in order to find duplications in your documents, you could always do that. And then the next one, so let me just click on this one here. This is the reading version. On this side, you can have a preview of your paper without being reading. So if I preview it, these are the different sections I have highlighted. So I could see all the different sections here that I have highlighted for my research previously. Okay, so this is a quick preview of the whole paper. And obviously, when you go to annotations, it's not just stages of reading. You could also rate the paper. If it's 5, that means it's a really important paper. If it's 1, that means it's not very important. You could color it if you wanted to. You could choose different colors and so on. And if you go further down, you could see the annotation report for this particular paper. So the annotation report, that means basically it will just select the annotations of your report if you want to review and see which parts you have annotated. Imagine you have a long document. You cannot go through every single page to see where you have annotated. You can go to this annotation reports section just to see the ones you have highlighted in your paper. Okay. And then obviously, if you go to the property side, again, here you have a number of functionalities. You can basically here, imagine you want to write something manually, you could create manual ones. So just by choosing whatever you want. So you just click manual, sorry, not manual. You go to, I don't know, MISC, MISC, and then you could fill in the different sections for yourself if you wanted to. That means basically these bibliographies are can be edited manually if you wanted to. But let me just put that reference back just in case I reuse it again. I don't want to be in a situation where I lose a reference. So let me just re-import that just to correct everything. Done. Okay. So I made some changes and I re-corrected everything just to ensure that everything is in place. Okay. So that's about this side. And here, if you click on this, you have a number of functionalities here. For example, if you like to read your paper in a negative form, so like that, you could do that. You see what happened? Okay, sorry. So this is a negative form of my paper. So the background is black and I am reading in white. If you like that, you could do that. If you think that's better for your eyes, by all means. You could simply go back and take that functionality away to reverse the whole process. Speed read, or you could read pages. Qiqqa will actually read the paper for you if you like. So if you click on that.
Please select the page that you wish to have read
so
to you.
Let me just share sound. So if you click on this and go to
Healthcare applications in the cloud. Semi-trusted cloud service providers. It is assumed that the cloud service providers are semi-trustworthy, honest but curious. This implies that cloud service providers honestly performs legitimate protocols but passively observes traffic in the cloud.
For you. You don't even have to read
Data-centric
it for yourself.
protection. Medical data are stored in highly distributed data stores in the cloud and managed by heterogeneous systems with complex and maybe legacy architectures, some of which may not have a trustworthy data management.
Okay, so that's reading for you. If you want to speed read this PDF in letters, you could do that as well. So just by clicking on this speed read and click on that. So it will help you to read letter by letter, although I have never used this functionality. I don't like it. But there are 5,365 words, and it will basically show you word by word to read it, which is, I don't know who is going to do that, but there it is. You can print it, you could save as a PDF, you could share and email this document, you can open the library that document is contained, or you could convert your PDF to text. So by clicking this functionality here, you could convert the entire document into text for you to edit, to do whatever you want to. Okay, and if you want to move pages, you could do that here. You could, like you said, you could full screen it for reading, like you do. You could zoom in and out. Here, you could do citations, direct citations. After you read the paper, you could go to cite this document, like what we did. You could take a snapshot of a particular region. So if you click on that, you could take a snapshot of that. And that will basically what you would like to do. You could create different charts out of it. So let me see if I could, I don't know if we have numbers in this particular table. So if I take a snapshot out of this, okay, I could create okay, generate the book charts. If I click on that, it will take me to a website that basically generates different charts out of my information, which I have selected from my paper. So, okay. What kind of charts you want? You choose a chart. Okay. Make charts like this. Okay, maybe it's the data is not, but if you have numbers, then you can definitely create different charts out of it, like these ones, if you like. So you need to provide a number of different details, but this is a different service provided by another website, but it has kind of connected itself to Qiqqa. This one here, you could select a text instead of reading. So you could just basically select a particular text, and that will be put into the report for you instead of a whole section. This one, draw ink on your PDF. You could highlight things like that, for example, or tick this, or maybe draw something out of this. These things will all be put into your annotation report. Okay, and obviously this is the highlighter pen. Again, you could highlight different things in your reading, or you could use the annotation box we used earlier. All right, so these functionalities are all present for you, and you can use them the way you want to and the way suits you best. Okay, any questions about that? Okay. Another thing which you can do in Qiqqa, which I think is really nice, you could basically group your papers or see your papers in different categories. So if you want to have it as, so for example, sort your library by title, it will do it by title for you. You could sort it by year. So this is the most recent one. And if you go down all the way, it will go to 2013, 14, 12. You see the year here. So you can basically sort it the way you want to. You could see by tags. So for example, collaboration concept is 1 tag, new edge drive is 2 tag. You could see it by year. So here it tells you I have 1 paper which was published in 1989. I have 6 published in 2003. I have 7 published in 2010. I have 12 published in 2013, and I have 2 published in 2014. Okay, you could sort it by stages of writing, reading, sorry. So finish reading 19, read again 5, top priority 1. So if I click on top priority, it will show me the one which is top priority in my list, according to the stages of reading. You could do it by rating. So I have 5 papers which I have rated it, 4 papers which I have rated it 5. I have 1 paper which is rated at 4, and I have 4 papers which is rated at 1, and I have 12 papers which I have not rated at all. So if I click on that, okay, maybe. So this is one of them, which is rated 5. And if you go back to the library, to the sort library, you can rating. Okay, we have or, we have and, we have or, maybe sort. Okay, there must be something wrong in my library. I may have deleted something. But anyway, these are all the different, you could do it by type. So I have 62 articles, 8 books, 9 in collections. I have 1 proceedings, and so on. So these are all the different kind of abilities for you to manage your library and to control whatever content you have in your particular library, which is something really nice. Okay. So if you remember, when I selected this folder here, okay, have I? Right, if you remember, when I selected this folder here, let me go back to my car library just to show you how this works, actually. I think it's better to demonstrate rather than talk. Okay, this is my car library. So I went to this particular functionality to add my PDFs. If you remember, I said we have something which is called watch folder. And what this watch folder does for you, if you watch a folder on your computer, whenever you update it with a new paper, you don't have to worry about importing the paper into Qiqqa, because Qiqqa will automatically update it for you. Okay, let me show you how it works. If I click on watch folder, okay, I go to add another folder. So there is no folder right now. This is empty. I go to add another folder. I go to desktop. And if you remember, we have a car search folder, which I created for my research, and I click OK. All right. So right now I have told Qiqqa, please watch this folder for me. That means whenever I add a new PDF file into that folder, I don't have to worry about importing it into Qiqqa. It will do it for me automatically. So that basically saves the hassle of you remembering how many papers you have downloaded and how many papers you have uploaded into your library. It does it for you automatically. So right now, it's watching that folder for me, and I say, okay, done, and see what happens. Right now, we have 1, 2, and 3 papers in my library. All right, I go to my watch folder. Let me see, motive, problem, explanation. Let me see if this is a paper. Okay, that's a paper, which is good. All right. Right, so imagine this is my folder, which I have 3 PDF files, and see what happens. If I basically take this PDF file and put it in my folder, okay? That means I have 4 PDF files in my folder right now, and Qiqqa is watching this folder right now. So Qiqqa will upload that PDF file for me automatically. So if I open Qiqqa and refresh my library, so if I click on it again, you see, that's the paper which has been uploaded automatically for me. And I don't have to worry about remembering whether I have put a document into my folder or not. If you do another one, let me just do another one for the sake of clarity. Okay, so this is my car folder, and I will put, let me see if this is a paper. No, it's not. See if this is a paper. No. Right, let me copy a paper from here. Okay, that paper. Copy that. And I put it in my watch. I put it here. Paste. Right? So right now, I should have 3, 4, 5 papers in my Qiqqa library, because Qiqqa is watching that folder for me. So right now I have 4. Why? Because I have not refreshed my library. So all you have to do is close the library and open the library again. There you go. That's the paper again, put into my, and if you have bibliography before, so right now there is no bib text, you need to import the bib text. But now you see the 2 papers are in my library, and that's what the function of a watch folder is. Isn't that great? I think it is. And the most important thing is you get all these facilities for free. I mean, you don't have to pay for this tool. It's open source and you can use it however you want to. This is a lifesaver, I think. Right, so what else is there to talk about before we can disappear? I think we have covered pretty much. Okay, you can convert documents into PDF here if you wanted to. This is Expedition. If you open Expedition, I don't know how useful this would be to you. Actually, let's forget that. If you want to learn more, you can go and do it. I don't want to make it complicated. But here you have different tools as well. So this is called Datacopia. Datacopia is a website that converts data into different diagrams for you. This is Qiqqa for Android. You can download Qiqqa for Android to put it on your mobile phone. You could use different browsers, and These are the different Qiqqa features anyway. So one thing, just to, let's not forget that, I think one of the question was about using something else instead of Google Scholar. So here, once again, you have browsing, you have Google Scholar, and you have PubMed XMXL. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure here you can, so you have IEEE Explorer, you have Google, you could select, you have JS Tor, you have Wikipedia, you have PubMed XML. These are all different search engines or scientific search engines, which you can, you have ARXVs. I think you know what these mean. These are all different databases for research papers. You could select one of them, and basically the search will be done in that particular library for you rather than Google Scholar. So if you cannot find it in Google Scholar, you could choose this one, or IEEE Explorer, or JSTOR, or Microsoft Academic. These are different functionalities for you. Okay, and I think that should be it. I'm just thinking if there's something else that is really important. Obviously, there are other functionalities like share and forget and so on, but for now, I think that is enough. So basically, I will put an assignment on Edmodo later on, and the assignment is about whatever steps we have gone through in Qiqqa, so the basic ones, not the ones I showed you earlier. And you have to do the same step, and also you have to basically screenshot each activity you do and put a screenshot in the document for me. So you create a Word document at the end that has all the different steps which I will ask you to do in Qiqqa.
Okay. You mean basic steps?
Yalla, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the basic steps was creating a library, putting some PDF files there, importing the annotation, the bibliography for them, reading them, annotating them, generating the report, and then paraphrasing, referencing, those basic steps, basically.
Okay. So it is going to be like 2 assignments.
What do you mean 2 assignments?
Once we have to create it, for example, 1 assignment, we have to repeat it what you did for us, okay? Then we have to screenshot the steps, and put in another Word
so
file.
Whatever, when you do step 1, when you create your library, take a screenshot of that. Then
Okay.
when you import some files in there, take the next screenshot. When you start annotating your file, for example, take a screenshot of that. So each step you do, take a screenshot. So to ensure that you have basically gone through the steps which I have shown you. And the whole objective is to ensure that you start using Qiqqa as a tool for yourself.
So we have to put in different files, yeah?
You could put it in the same file. I don't mind. I mean, it's not.
Okay. At the end, we are going to put.
You could put it at the end as well. Yes.
Okay.
And finally, I would like to share this slide with you. This is how I do research. This is my way of doing research. You could do it your way if you wanted to. So now you understand these steps very quickly. So I choose a topic. I research the related literature to find my PDF, download the BibTeX for them, read and annotate using Qiqqa, paraphrase them, create the structure of my paper, distribute the material, add my content and fill in the gaps, reference the paper, revise, finalize, and send it to a journal. And I showed you exact steps during this session, so you can use the same step to do your research as well. So it wasn't just teaching you how to do how to use a tool. It was also teaching you my way of doing and starting a research and completing a research, basically.
Please, there is some ribbons on this chart. If you can remove it so that we can take a screenshot for this chart you made.
Okay, there it is, Mom Mustafa.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Mom Mustafa. کەس پرسیارێکی هەیە؟ پێم وایە کاتەکەمان تەواو بوو. ئینشاءالله ئەخی ڕۆژی شەمەیە. لە ڕۆژی شەمەش دوو ئیشمان هەیە. ئیشێکیان ئەوەیە کە بە شێوەیەکی خێرا پێت پیشاندەم کە چۆن وێبسایتێکی خنجیلە بۆ خۆ دروستەکەی بە فری، و ئیشی دووەممان ئەوەیە کە باسی چەند لایەنێکی پرسنال سکیوریتی بکەین لە ڕووی تەبەن لە ڕووی تەکنەلۆژیەوە باسەکەین ئێمە، و ئەگەر کاتی شەبوو یەک دوو تۆڵی تر تاقیەکەینەوە، ئەگەر نا هیوادارم توانی بێتم خزمەتێکی بچووکم کردبێ بۆ ئیشانەی کە لە خزمەتانە دوومانە.
دەستت خۆش بێ.
دکتۆر تا بساوی ئینشاءالله.
دەست خۆش دکتۆر.
Goodbye. دەست خۆش بێ دکتۆر. دەست خۆش.
زۆر سپاسان دەکەم مامۆستاگیان. مادەم وایە ئەگەر پرسیارێک شتێکتان نییە من سێشنەکە کۆتایی پێێنم و خۆشحاڵ بووم لە خزمەتانە بوو. با یەک سکرین شۆتی هین وەرگرم بێ زەحمەت، یەک سکرین شۆتی ئەو غیاباتە بە خێرایی.
سپاس دەکەن ئوستاز بۆ گریبانس.
لە خزمەتانە مامۆستاگیان.
ئەمان درێژ بی دکتۆر.
چای من سەرکەوتوو بن ئینشەڵا و ئومێدی کاتێکی خۆش و ئێوارەیەکی شاد بۆ هەموو لایەک.
بۆ تۆش بۆ هەموو.
Thank you. Goodbye.
خوافستان.